everyone, this is Rick Passek, FlyFish Fanatic. Welcome to my tying bench. Today I will be tying a little copper buzzer. Let's call it copper. A copper buzzer. It's been a decent producer for me at times. I mean, there's times where you need black ones, times where you need red ones, times when you need gray, copper, chromey. And this one has done well for me over the years, on and off. So let us get her going. Start off with a Hends BL554 size 12. You can use whatever chronowood hook you like. This is the one that I've been really liking the last couple of years. So I'm gonna use some copper Nanosilk. Going to be using some Hends body glass in the. It's so hard to read their numbers all the time, but I think it's 15. It's kind of a I don't know, pinky, rosy, coppery kind of color. It's kind of hard to explain the color, but it's I'll be using that as the rib, and then up at the thorax I'll be using some black Nanosilk and some Semperfli sunburst goose biots. So, and then I'll coat it with Gulf Finman. So just gonna start my thread as always. This is, like I said, this is the Semperfli Nanosilk in copper. I like using Nanosilk for my chronomids, even though, yeah, it takes time to build up if you're doing any, like, baseball shaped, football shaped thoraxes and stuff. Yes, it takes time to build up, but I like it because it's strong, it's thin, and it doesn't build up your body too much, right? You want this as thin as you can. Obviously, it's chronomid, right? So this is a Drib style. So I like trying, if I can see, if I'm not too blind. It's a Drib style. So I like having the flat down, but it's sometimes for me, because yeah, even with I'm using a little magnifier. Even with that, it can be tough to see. So I'm old. So let's get in there, and there's a stray hair there. I don't want that. Get out of there. Just pinching, wrap, and then I'm really gonna stretch this stuff again. And it can be open wraps. It doesn't matter for now. I'm gonna get it all the way back down around that corner, but I want to stretch this stuff as much as I can. Again, so I don't build up any bulk in my body, right? Now I'm going to come back all the way back forward. I'm not too worried about that little tag that's sticking out there. It's all going to get covered anyway. Just counterclockwise spinning my thread, flatten it. I can bring that down. And then I just want to make sure my entire body is really nicely covered with this copper. So again, flatten it. All the way back to the tie-in point. Stop. Flatten it. I have to say one thing. I love these. I've used to love these TMCO bobbins, and this is one that's got an offset. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's got an offset on it. Love them. Hard to find. Used to love them, but now that I'm doing a lot more of the chronomids and buzzers and stuff like that, and I have to do that spin with them because of that offset, it just flops around everywhere. That's why I really prefer these ones from Stoneful. They're really nice. They're heavy duty, really nice thumb plate on them. Got this for tensioning up your thread. Oops, this piece here for tensioning up your thread. It's just, they're a much nicer bobbin. Like I said, ergonomically, I love these TMCOs. They just fit in my hand really nice, but for doing what I'm doing, they don't spin very nice anymore. So, okay, so now I like just taking and doing a half hitch or two in here, just in case I bump it. And then I stretch this quite well, especially at the back end. I stretch it a lot. And now I'm using this as a rib, not as a body, right? So you want to make sure that you are leaving space between each one, right? you want a pronounced ribbing in this. And I'm going to just let go just a little bit on the tension so I get a bit more of a thicker rib. So I'm just letting go on that tension just ever so slightly. And come back one more here. I'm going to tighten up my thread. And tie that down really well. Tie that down. Again, you really want this tied down well because we're going to be stretching it to cut it, right? So stretch it and cut it, and that'll suck right back in there, right? And then you don't have to worry about a little tag. So now what I like doing is I like just readjusting my hook just so the thorax section is flat, horizontal. Like that, give or take. Just makes life a little easier. I'll go up to about there, and I'm going to take my goose biot, one on each side. For these are going to be your wing buds. Nice bright, sharp, fluorescent wing buds. These things really pop under the light. So I'm just going to nip off that very tip, and then I'm going to tie this my side, kind of on the side underneath. Okay, get that started. There we go. And if it's not quite where you want it, you can just give that a bit of a twist and open wrap. So I'm going to bring it back to end of my thorax. Take my other one. Sorry that I have to turn it, guys, but I have to see. Otherwise, it's ugly. And I'll tie it in on your side, and then I'll show you how what the result is. So there, see how that's tied in kind of on the side, but down from the bottom of the side. Now you can go right underneath. If you've got the really nice holographic or UV stretch floss, then you can kind of hook it in like, I'll show you with this D rib. You can hook it in like this and get it right underneath, and then you can pull that forward, right? But I don't have any of the really nice bright, and I want a really nice bright holographic here. Not holographic, just a nice bright UV. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this fly right here. Whip finish it, just one whip finish, it's good. Cut that off. Now I'm going to take my black Nanosilk and I'm going to start it right there. I want a bit of a black head on this one, right? So I'm going to do my football shape with the black. And for my British viewers, I mean football is in North American, not your football, not the real football. Okay, so stop about there. Bring my two biots forward and up. Pinch. Take a light, loose pinch wrap, and then tighten down, tighten down. Have a look. That looks pretty good. I like pulling it back a bit, going in front once or twice, over top again. And then what I do is I hold down real tight, and then I take my tweezers and grab onto each individual biot and get right down tight and pull it off. But you got to make sure you hold your thread tight. If you don't, you're going to be pulling those things right out of there. Okay, now I'll do a whip finish. Sometimes I'll also put a silver or mirage tinsel cap on the top here as well. It all depends on what I want. I'll have both in my box. So there's that. And now I just gotta give it a real quick with a lighter. I don't want to get too close because you don't want to melt those biots, right? So now this is the part that it can get a little tricky. You want to get a nice good coating on on your head. Air bubble out of there. Take some of that and go underneath. You want to protect your head. You want to really protect those biots, because those biots get chewed up pretty darn quick if you don't. So you want to protect those. You want to get a nice little ball on your head here. Make sure that's all protected, not into the eye, and zap that. Okay, give that a whack. And then the next part is I just want to give it the ever so slightest little coating on the top, over top of that body. Now, sometimes I don't use, and this time I won't use UV resin, because the UV resin, even like this Gulf Thin Mint and the other thin ones out there, they're still too thick overall for this, because I don't want to fill in that rib. I want that predominant rib. I want that to stick out. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Sally Hansen's here, and just very light coating. And that was actually almost too much, so I'm going to wipe it off. Go on to the other side here and bring some of that other stuff from the other side around. Like I said, all I'm really wanting to do is protect this. I don't want to add much. I want that rib to be seen. I want that rib to stick out. So now I'll coat that head as well, where I put the UV resin just to help it. And that is the finished fly. Let's see if I can clean that up for you guys a bit. There we go. So that's the finished fly. Yeah, it's not very good that way. Let's see, will that work? No, makes it worse. Woo, we get the black background. Yeah, so yeah, you see what I mean though. Is you've got that little bit of that standout rib, right? That rib stands out, and that's what you want on this. You wanna show that rib. So, alrighty, so yeah, I'll let that dry, and she's done. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you've subscribed, thank you. If you have not, please consider doing so. The channel's growing very well. I'm very happy. Thank you guys all that have subscribed for subscribing. My 2,000 subscriber giveaway just occurred about a week ago, I guess it is now. And yeah, I'll be doing another one at 2,500, but not as big. This was a big one. It was quite some large prizes. So I'll be doing another one at 2,500, another one at 3,000. Every 500, I'll do one. So, and it all depends on what I get from my sponsors and stuff, what'll be involved in it. So, alrighty. Just give it a thumbs up and comment, guys. Start making some comments, asking me, asking me some questions and what you'd like to see in the future here. River patterns, lake patterns, nymphs, dries, wets, tropicals, whatever, sea trout. Let me know, and I'll see if I can accommodate. So, sidelines, everyone.